All right, guys, welcome back. Intel Extreme Masters Shenzhen Europe qualifiers, as we now have a series to determine who is our first place in this group thing.
In the qualifier, we have a match to decide who gets a plane ticket to Asia. We're sending these guys back.
Bye, guys.
But they're going to China, not Korea. First in MMA, two guys who are currently in Germany get a plane ticket back to Asia. Get to play in the Intel Extreme Masters kickoff event, the first event of Season 9 for them, just around the corner, come mid-July, mid-late July. Who's going to play? We'll have our first official player soon.
Awesome. It could be this guy. It could be our blue Protoss. It could be first. Damn. Or it could be this guy spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner representing Acer. It's MMA. It's been a lot of fun so far today, I think, Sean.
Got to keep ourselves sane.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
Something tells me it's a lot to do with being a DJ right now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have lost my sanity already. I think I have. Actually, I already think it's gone.
Probably.
All right, so pile inside the main base. One side has been spotted in case it's going to be proxied. But it is either going to be first, who's about to really, skyrocket onto the scene, more so than ever before. He's a previous Intel Extreme Masters champion, which some of you may have even forgotten about. Probably you have, so I'm telling you again. He's a previous champion of the Intel Extreme Masters. He was a multiple third-place finisher at MLG. And he's been inside the GSL, whether it be Code A or Code S, for a very long time. But he's about to skyrocket back to the top. Because he's in Europe, he's doing well in WCS Europe as well, and he's already conquered his group with ease.
Yeah, very easy.
And he's definitely one of the players to look out for in the WCS, because I guarantee you he's going to rock it. I've watched his PvPs, they're great. I know he's always been good against Terran, and his Zerg games are unbelievable right now as well. So he's actually completely all-round as a player. A massive opportunity for him to get more success. Already success in WCS, he could get it here as well.
Yep. And he's going to be going up here against a previous WCS Europe champion, but MMA is going to have his work cut out for him, because first really shot onto the scene with his PVT, right? Everyone started noting him because of this matchup. So, and MMA probably knows that, so gonna look out.
Yeah, MMA's played a lot of TVP recently. San, MC, he's kind of arch nemesis within Europe, within the WCS, these guys. So he's been playing a lot as well. And he's looked pretty good, but he did lose his final last time against MC. But he looked good in that series, and that's where the good, otter or the meerkat face came from for MMA in that series, which you all do know and love, or should know about and love about. But this is going to be a good game. This is definitely worthy of first place in this qualifier.
Yep. MMA is probably a little bit puzzled right now. He's going to go down to the natural and see that will be a Nexus thrown down. So the Gateway and Cybernetics Core, he can pretty much infer that it's there somewhere.
This is a little bit delaying of the
nice.
Nexus. Nice by MMA.
Could have even got away with an engineering Bajor and all that. Whoa, first, where are you going? All right, well.
He's like, whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah. Follow-up by this, by the way, was taken out of gas for MMA, and also second barracks quite fast. The Nexus should follow immediately now, but it's going to be up to 2 barracks in, and I don't think MMA's not a big guy who plays with 3 barracks. He's kind of a guy who plays with 2 and then up to 3 as the factory, the third production facility being a factory. Engineering Bay is going to allow him to get +1 attack nice and swiftly. I do like an early +1.
Yep, he solidifies himself quite nicely with that, that's for sure. And first, meanwhile, though, he's just playing out a normal game behind all of this. I mean, MMA eventually did spot out that this was kind of normal. And first, what are you going to throw down? It's going to be the Robo.
Yeah, robotics facility, so no tricks, no surprises here by first. It's going to be a pretty standard game unless we see a rush up towards the robotics bay and a key focus on Colossus production nice and early, which could then push us in the direction of a potential Colossus all-in attack. But it looks like it should stabilize from this point. I wouldn't be expecting him to rocket up so fast towards Colossus in game number 1 at this point. It may be something to exploit later on if he smells weaknesses, but look at all that chrono boost he's got saved up. That's a lot of chrono boost saved up.
Yeah, and he's just throwing in a Stargate as well.
Yeah, look at who is copying MC.
Yeah. I guess they've been working on some things in-house, that's for sure.
So this is kind of cool, because if we see a scan from MMA, which is quite likely to happen because he doesn't know what he's playing against. Ooh!
No.
It wasn't meant to be on that side. It was meant to be slightly more to the right. He actually spots the Stargate and not the Robo.
Yeah.
So this has actually worked in reverse, unfortunately, for First, who was hoping that the robotics facility was scouted and not that structure.
Yeah, that's a little weird. A little weird.
Well, he cancels the Stargate. Okay.
That's understandable.
Yeah, that's understandable. And that's actually kind of good for First. If we see turrets being placed into the mineral lines, that's 200 minerals compared to the cancellation of that structure, which didn't really slow First down that much.
Yeah.
It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, the Robo was first, so
yeah.
So it's all good. And there's the Robo Bay pretty fast. He's leaving the probe up here, though. So what is he going to go for? Twilight Council, maybe? It's a little bit
Forge?
lack of gas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Forge, all in all. All right.
It depends if MMA knows that this could be cancelled. Pretty fast third coming in. He's got Marines in the line, so he's not really adding on anything. So this is actually okay for MMA. It could have been worse than it is.
He didn't overreact, basically.
No, he did not.
Which is nice. The Observer's now going to come in and have a look around.
And spots that third really early.
I think MMA might have spotted that Observer. He was moving his Marines there for a second, but it looks like that is not the case. Well, I mean, I don't think he even has any energy to scan anyway to kill it, so that's a little bit unfortunate for him.
No, he doesn't know. But third spotted nice and early here for First, so he doesn't need to, think about being overly defensive. He's thinking about the next part of his strategy, which he's decided to add on the Twilight Council with quite early. So with the Twilight Council here, Blink does scream out the first thing that I think about here with this coming in to make sure he is good at defending against eventually when MMA does move out. Blink is a fantastic upgrade.
Yep.
It could be a random 2 Colossus switch, or 1 Colossus switch. Sorry, he's only got 1 on the way. Could be a fast switch over to Templar and a continuation into armor upgrades on the ground. But yeah, the first thing that screamed to me was Blink, and it seems like that is he shouldn't really wait too long for his third to come into play, unless he wants to be aggressive from 2 bases.
Yeah, so he might end up looking for similar openings that we saw MC going for, but with this probe up to the top left, looks like that's not going to be the case. So he's going to take his expansion, but there is already a Marine on the way there, MMA.
I think he was thinking about both options, because we did see a probe that highlighted over to build a gateway, but then he didn't build the gateways, and then he built the third instead. And this third is quite nicely timed. Before the 10-minute mark, off the back of 3 gateways alone. He's also got the Twilight Council in the mix already. It's quite a fast third base because he's seen that MMA took a fast third base. So he's kind of just keeping up to pace with MMA.
He sees a little bit of the movement out with this Observer now at the front, which is nice. A nice start here for First. And controlling watchtowers as well is okay. Eventually, he'll throw down a pylon somewhere for some Zealot counters. But again, First has always exhibited very strong macro styles. So holding on against this, we'll see if he is going to be okay. I think, he should be able to shut this down. I don't think there's any room here for MMA to really do much.
No, not with Blink being done. No, probably not.
Little poke at the front. Doesn't really do a whole lot. Has to pull back as well. And that's this is all right for First. The third base has been taken from MMA behind this. Adding on the armory now because he needs to get a +2 too. But that could have been a little bit earlier, actually.
He doesn't have a second engineering bay, does he?
Nope.
No. Yeah.
Nope.
Okay. All right, so I do prefer this style. But overall, this is pretty good for First, as long as he doesn't take damage. That's the key component of everything that he's kind of holding together, is not to take damage. His defense, basically. And that is working out rather well for him. He's got Zealot Charge on the way already, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the Templar Archives come into play in a second here. So Templar Archives is perfectly timed. Everything is perfect from First. Smooth as can be. It's as smooth as a baby's backside.
Yep. First doing well, that's for sure. MMA now trying to push through the middle. Not really sure he's going to get a whole lot done here.
Ooh, nice micro
good mic. Yeah. Ooh.
Picking up the Marauder there, and he does win that fight. Double drop to the top right, and this could be the first time that First takes some damage.
Yes, it could. MMA finding this little bit of wiggle room, getting those supply depots around the back as well.
He's finally got a bit of room here. This is a nice drop. Good move from MMA here. Found a weakness that we didn't really think we'd see.
Yeah. Not so smooth now, are you, first? He's
Yeah.
actually... Ooh, oh dear. Okay, that Nexus is actually plummeting. He could actually... He's going to suicide. He's going to stick around. He's going to get it. Oh.
Big win. Big win.
Coming in from the back, he's looking for Colossi. Oh, no.
Big win here. MMA doesn't want to lose any units after losing those because he could die to a counter, but he's built up a decent army back at home as well, so that was a lovely, lovely jubbly move.
Yes, it was.
From MMA, and he finds himself 30 supply ahead. Can't ask for more.
Had to pull those probes away, realizing that the Widow Mines were still a threat, still there with their little holes, so... Scary times ahead.
He's got no observers moving there either, though. Okay, yeah, he does.
MMA's got a killer instinct today. He has looked good all day long. Now we see him in this final game, for him at least.
I wonder if first saw these two medivacs, it just went outside the vision range of the Zelnaga Tower, because he was cleaning up the Widow Mines, so he may have missed this.
Where is this Widow Mine going?
I don't know.
I guess he was on follow towards the medivacs. So
I think he missed these two medivacs, because he was cleaning his third. He's not reacting. He's missed these two, and they were in clear vision, but he didn't notice. And then at the same time, MMA may snipe the third again as well.
He may. There's a High Templar and a few Zealots in the main base.
Oh, the Mothership Core's dead.
Oh, did it die?
Yes.
Ah, okay. These two medivacs are trying to find a little bit of an opening. There are cannons, sorry, those are actually just pylons, they're not cannons, going down. Feedbacks on the medivacs to stop the longevity of this army, but the Zealots are going to be torn apart. It's going to be difficult for this Zealot force to really do anything about that.
Great drop. Beautiful drop. This is really good play from MMA. He's really stepped it up today.
Yeah,
really stepped it up.
The Zealots are still pinned between these pylons that he was throwing down. And MMA behind this has all the room in the world. He's even going to get the Templar. Oh, okay, no, he probably won't. Oh, he actually will do. The Stalkers just go for the medevacs.
I need to share some knowledge. You know, a lot of you fans out there of Terran or MMA, you don't get to share the privileges that I do. You know, I'm going to just be mean.
Okay.
MMA messaged me before because we are friends. And he said, and I showed you, you can bet me. I didn't actually, I should have print screened it, but I didn't.
I know what you're about to say anyway. Yeah.
He messaged me and he said, I'm so angry after the other yesterday. In terms, he meant the other day.
He meant WCS.
He was so angry with his loss in WCS that he's practiced non-stop since, and he said he's going to destroy this tournament. He did say that very few words to me.
Yes, he did.
He was so angry with how he lost in WCS because he knew that it was his own fault. At the end of the day, it was his silly decision-making that cost him the tournament. But he's angry, and he's actually playing today in this qualifier better than I've seen him play. Yeah. Well, to be honest, since he went in the finals last season.
He's playing like a monster. He really is. And First is going to have a hard time holding off against that because MMA is maxed against First, who is at 161 supply. So First's going to have to hold off against this. This would be difficult.
Yeah, this next fight's going to be really good here for MMA. He is without Vikings, which is quite important. But depending on the position of the fight, he can clean up everything. As you see, there isn't that much underneath the Colossus, and then the Marauders will clean up everything else. So this is a difficult fight despite having 3 Colossus.
He's got to be very, very careful about how he moves this. There are some Zealots going for the counter-attack during all of that. They get obliterated by the Widow Mines. And MMA is just going for the double-prong move.
This is almost too much to deal with. There is a storm, but that's it inside the main.
Landed a few AMPs on the front of that army. Didn't quite get the High Templars at the very back. Still got to wait for this.
Oh, he's found the double forges up here. Look at this.
Oh, if he kills those off as well, that would be fantastic for him. And the Colossi have strayed forwards against this. They got themselves a few ghosts, but, I mean, he loses the double forge. So what do you do? Well, you have no upgrades. That's what you do.
You're in massive trouble. That's what's up. You've lost all your upgrades. MMA is approaching +3 attack and +2 armor. First has an opportunity where he does have 3 Colossus or 2 Colossus here to push MMA back. I mean, is he really going to push MMA all the way to the other side, inside his main, and then kill him off? Probably not. There's 3 Vikings being made at a time. It's very unlikely that would be the case. Oh, man, this is very bad news for First.
Double Forge being re-established. MMA even saved a ghost during all of that with one of the medevacs, so that was a good pickup there. And now, I mean, again, First technically is in similar supplies, but MMA's wealth here is going to be so high as long as he can get on top of those Colossi, but he's not right now. There's no more Vikings. Good storms will push this back a little bit. MMA, though, splitting nicely, has to retreat out of this position.
Yeah, I mean, you can push MMA back a couple of levels, I think, but it's going to be harder and harder the further and deeper you go into his territory, because you're getting closer to his production facilities and obviously closer towards where all the units are and the Vikings are popping out.
Oop.
So it's good to push him back a couple of levels and a couple of notches. And it is also very nice that he's able to establish the fourth base. If he only had his upgrades still going strong, first would be in good shape.
Yeah, he would. Army supply is very similar.
I think this fight could be catastrophic for him here. He may get surrounded.
Yeah, this army on the left-hand side doesn't fully know about it. Storm goes down on a few of those Vikings. He needs to shut those down, but he doesn't realize that Bio's on the left-hand side. Luckily for him, a few of the Zealots were coming in, reinforcing at just the right time. He's kept the Colossi alive for as long as he possibly could do, but in the end, the wraparound from MMA will shut this army down.
Yeah, and he doesn't really lose any SCVs there either, and that was a full wraparound. Further upgrades from MMA, +3, +2 versus 2-1, play a massive part of that battle. And from here on out, it's still a difficult position for first, but he is catching up with those upgrades, right?
Yeah.
He's about to get towards +2, +3, but not quite, but getting there. And that's where he needs to be, but he just needs those upgrades to complete, and he'd be in much better shape.
Yeah, he needs this base up and running, that's for sure. He has quite a lot of money actually banked up relative to what position he's at with 138 supply. Just warp in an extra round here from this point on, and that'll even out nicely, whilst MMA once again going for the triple drop on the left-hand side.
Oh, MMA, you make me all tingly inside when you send 3 medibacks in one direction.
He's going to try to do some damage with them. He needs to pressure up the right as well, though, right?
You make me think of the MMA back from 2011. Oh, he's dropping inside the natural.
Oh.
MMA.
Oh, he could get the Templar Archives. Or just the Nexus. Whatever he wants, it doesn't really matter.
MMA, I'll be your Valentine any day.
Ooh, ouch. I'm under the impression there's quite a lot of people that like MMA.
Of course they do.
Maybe.
Have you seen his hairs?
Yeah.
His different hairstyles?
Did you say his hairs?
Yeah, well, I was going to say hair, and then I wanted to say hairstyle, and then it came out as hairs.
Have you seen his hairs? That's kind of creepy.
The upgrades are completing up for first, though, so he's not out of it yet. But MMA with destroying the natural, turning off a gateway, and just being a nuisance on this left-hand side.
These poor Zealots.
And I love the way that MMA's established himself on the right-hand side of this map, because he is saying that I can challenge you. I'm ready to fight.
Yeah.
And he is.
His army's bigger, and he's going to swoop in. Oh, those are some good storms, though. Push that bio away, but all the while, the Colossi are taking a bit of damage. There will be still one Colossus left over, but there's nothing to support it.
No, these Stalkers are not ideal support, let's just put it that way. And he's still getting dropped. How is he doing this?
Oh, he's hunting it. He's hunting.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Nom, 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 nom,
oh,
nom, nom,
MMA!
Well, he got it. He got it. And a few more storms hit this bio, pushing that away. First holding on, to be fair, but MMA is playing out of his mind.
But he's playing against Protoss, right, Clara? So he's not quite been able to kill him yet, right?
I guess.
Right?
Is that what you want me to say? I guess.
Right?
All right.
First, I'm actually very impressed the way that he's been able to play today. I was hyping first at the start of this game, all right? Give me a couple of minutes with MMA. But first is...
Just a few minutes, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, first playing well as well, of course. Trying to go for counters. For everything that's happened during this game, he still has his fourth base up and running.
Unbelievable. Like, he's been able to reestablish all his Nexus every time he's lost them. He's got his double forges back up and running. He's still being dropped all the time.
And he's alive. That's the thing.
He's alive, and this truly is one of the better Terran versus Protoss games I've seen in a long time. MMA is playing crazy. He's dropping all over the place. First is keeping up with the speed of MMA. But as you can see by the supply differences, that there's one player that's edging out every time they fight.
Yep. And that is MMA. So he's going to look to even continue pressure on this left-hand side whilst trying to find a position against this. If he just walks up to the high ground above this fourth base, then, there'd be a lot of damage done. Get a lot of probes, maybe, which would be nice. I think he might go around there.
Yeah, he's listening to you.
Good job, MMA. Well done. Oh, some Widow Mines. Oh, 3 kills on that one. 5 kills on the other. Before cannons finish up. So 29 worker kills so far. You're enjoying this, aren't you?
I love this game, Cloris. I love StarCraft, man.
StarCraft's pretty good, yeah. Yeah, it is. So he finds his position on the high ground. On the left-hand side, he's doing all right. We have a few warpins over here shutting down this base. So First is still keeping himself alive despite slowly dying.
He is slowly dying, but he's still hovering around 150 supply, which is pretty consistent to stay around there. If only he can really get up to 200, because that's where he has the best army and the biggest army. And that's where he has the highest chance to do well. But these Stalkers is a great move there to stop MMA's income. And while that's going on, he is moving on this right-hand side.
Yep, has the Zelnaga watchtower, so he can see all of this, can MMA, as well as the Widow mines that did end up dying over there. But again, this is pretty much First's whole army. Like, oh, nice snipe out there. Oh, oh. What? Zella.
And he backs off.
What?
Oh, Cloak. Does he have an observer? I wasn't looking at his army.
Only one on the field right now. Where is it? Oh. It's with the army. It's with the army.
Yeah, it's easily sniped off, though. That's the thing.
Ooh.
Considering all those Vikings, look at him.
The swarm.
Yeah, we'll probably have a scan here, depending on where the army is, and try and snipe. Oh, he's Widow mines.
Ambitious.
Yeah. But really good position for the Vikings. Brilliant position.
Yeah, how are you supposed to deal with that with Stalkers? I don't think you do.
The Observer's gone as well.
Oh, the Stalkers, they tried to blink forwards, and they will get a few of these Vikings, actually quite a lot of them, but it wasn't exactly the most ideal of spots. There's Vikings down to the south as well, trying to continue on against these Colossi. First is holding on so valiantly during all of this.
I mean, he's getting closer to that +3 attack. He survives this little fight and is still not that far away in terms of supply to MMA. Jeez, this game, definitely one of the best.
Yeah.
You can't kill him. He's trying everything. He's dropped him all over the place. He can't kill him. He tried to kill the Nexus. For some reason, decided the Assimilator was a better choice, and he couldn't do that either. Probes to the rescue.
No.
And if MMA loses his right-hand side... Oh! I don't know what that was.
All right, bye-bye, Colossus.
He kept the planetary alive, which is...
Yes,
I really wanted to talk about that, because if First broke that planetary, this game could have been over. But he kept it alive. I don't know what that noise was. This is a great game of StarCraft. I'm really enjoying this.
It's a great game of StarCraft, you're right. All right.
Serious mode.
Yeah, serious mode. I'm crying, man. Okay, Colossus.
Look at the supply difference, though. It's double now.
Yeah, it's double. Oh, hey, well, he could get some of these medevacs. Oh, no.
Well, that starts...
No.
Still kind of double. He's lost all the high tempo. I'm sorry. I lost it a little bit before. Still have. Been casting a lot recently.
Yeah. Especially today as well. We got more on the way, Sean. We got more on the way.
Yeah.
GG! No,
great
don't
end.
come back to us. Don't come back.
Great end. James. Yes. Tim puts it back in game because you've lost it.
All right.
It's okay. We can keep it on that screen for a second while you compose yourself.
Sure, man. Sure.
Well, game one's done. This is game 1 of 3. It's really bad because I'm trying to pull you out of it, but you're so far gone that I can't help you. I need like a rescue rope to pull you back. It's okay. You just let it out.
Can we go to break?
It's okay. It's almost gone.
All right.
You're pulling yourself out.
Can I have a tissue?
The rope is in.
Do you have a tissue?
I don't have one. Sorry.
Producer's getting us a tissue.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim.
What a great game, though.
What a great game. What a great game of StarCraft. All right.
It's okay. Klaris is almost back
Tim.
with the living. He's almost back. It was a very emotional game.
Sometimes things just tickle me. And that was one of them.
I don't know.
All right, you can come back to us, Tim, whatever. What is this? All right, okay. All right, hi. Yeah, sometimes things just tickle me, and that was one of them. All right, serious time.
You good?
Game number 2.
I don't know what the noise was. I don't know what I was saying for a lot, but I just know that This is a great day.
It's a good
lot
day.
of fun.
It's a good day of StarCraft.
Yeah. It's like all the memories of me doing this with Day 9 just come flooding back, and I'm like, no, this has happened far too many times in the past. I've got into trouble before.
I remember casting with Sean as well before. If he lets go, he lets go. Oh my
Yes, he
God.
does. And we may have done that just now.
Yeah. All right, game number 2. Game number 2. What map is it?
Habitation.
All right.
If
okay.
he floats to the gold
If he
base.
floats to the gold, I'm gonna lose it again.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right. I've told him to go, so
Good
we'll
luck, good
see.
luck. Can you warn him? Like, just don't float.
He's gonna do it. I know he is.
Yeah, he is.
He's actually got a bit of success doing this. So
I'm really warm. I'm really, really warm. It's normally quite warm in the studio. It's normally quite warm.
Yes.
But now I'm a little bit warmer. All right, so MMA got us all hot and bothered, apparently.
That's definitely one way to put it.
Yeah.
But that was one of the best games I've seen in ages. And
Who won again?
MMA.
Oh, okay.
MMA.
MMA.
Convincingly towards the end.
Yeah,
Convincingly
yeah.
towards the end.
Yeah.
Or, first played so good as well. This is definitely worth the ticket for first place. This is so worth it, man.
That was a really good game. Despite our silliness, that
Is
was
he
a
leaving?
good game.
Is he floating?
Please don't float.
No. Not this
okay.
time.
Phew. All right, spawning up to the top right-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss. It is first, and up to the top left, we have our red Terran. It is Acer MMA, 1 game away from the Intel Extreme Masters, Shenzhen. Shenzhen, even.
Yeah. MC continued on, by the way. He beat Happy.
Did he? Oh, wow, that was quick.
Snoot beat Cass.
Okay.
So the low bracket is advancing on.
Yeah.
Just not quite as fast as obviously the upper one, and even though the upper one's got a lot less games.
One would say at a snail's pace.
Yeah.
All
right. So the fight continues on here for the ticket to China. God, MMA played so good then.
He did. It was very impressive. I didn't really, I'll be honest, as much as I was observing, I didn't manage to see a whole lot of the last minute or two of that game. But I tried.
You tried, and to be fair, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah? Okay, great. Thanks.
I wonder what First has planned here, because you just given a lot of your best, and it wasn't good enough. And that is difficult to take in sometimes, because he gave his best, and he always was able to make the right recovery at the right time, but it wasn't good enough.
I guess he's just got to get to that point in this game, but level pegging, right? As MMA, killing that third base off was really like the tipping point, I feel, for him to just continue on and on and on and on and trying to power away at his opponent. But anyway, he's going to come over here now and have a little bit of a look around. He will see the gas.
Yeah, in this position as the probe, or First, whoever you want to be, or imagine being, you want to try to get out, because you know that it's going to be a Reaper opening, obviously, here, and it is all good and cool to tickle the SCV and zap him a couple of times, but it's actually better to get out, and I think to hide the probe, to then come in again.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth sending all the way home, because I think the value you get from going back in to see the barracks factory is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And even if he builds one Reaper into reactor, you can also delay the command center too, but he's going to bring it back. And he has decided to throw down a second gas here, which MMA goes in and sees, and already that's a little bit worrisome.
Mm-hmm.
Why 2 gases? Why not just 1?
Yeah, because you could always be expanding off the back of 1. So what is he wanting to use the extra gas for at the beginning?
And if he doesn't rush the tech down, he will throw it pretty much straight away afterwards, unless he takes out of the assimilator and mines with like 2 in each or something, which then takes away from getting double assimilator in the first place.
And Mothership Core is going to head over to the natural to protect her territory. And then as the Reaper's going to try and jump in, this SCV is a little bit of a distraction for this Reaper. Ooh, Reaper doesn't want to go in. That pylon... So, anyway, now continuing on, as we have the Reaper still trying to jump on in, but doesn't quite get in at all. So, anyway.
Engineering Bay coming in, which is exactly the same opening as he was doing before. But that double gas, we've only just now been seen used, and it wasn't really used in a way that can threaten MMA, yet he doesn't know what exactly this is. So first things that he would be thinking about is, let me get that Reaper back inside, and I would like to see the Stargate or Twilight or whatever you're doing. And unfortunately, it gets shut down again. And this will force a scan. He will need to scan soon, and he may off-put the scan and miss the robo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always a bit of a risk wherever you're going to scan.
Like, you'd want to scan towards a little bit to the natural, maybe here or something.
Because this could be Blink.
It's going to be hard.
It could be DTs.
Oh, he's spreading everything everywhere,
And
so it's really
the Reaper
difficult.
tries to go in again.
He really, really wants to get in.
Stalker should deny this. 1, 2, and 3.
Hopped.
Denies it. And now he would scan slightly to the left. I think he'll get the robo. Because I think he saw enough on the right-hand side where he would place his scan slightly to the left.
Yeah, you mean like so going over
Ooh,
here,
what is
for example?
this kind of robo then Twilight?
Yeah, the Twilight is...
He didn't scan, by the way. He didn't want to scan. He's like, whatever.
What's he going to throw down here, though? This probe is primed and ready to go. Yeah.
DTs.
Oh, wow.
Like, really off-put and weirdly timed DTs.
That's strange.
So, a real strange thing for MMA is that, first of all, he hasn't scanned. Second of all, he doesn't know what's going on. He will see the observer, and he will be tricked a little bit. Because he'll be like, all right, cool. It's actually just this guy trying to play mind games with me. And actually, I've won the mental warfare because I'm the one that didn't scan and didn't try to figure out what you're doing if you're only playing normal. So upon seeing this observer, which he probably will see, he's going to have pretty good eyes on that. And be like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, it's all right then.
There is a turret on the natural.
Yeah, exactly.
And Warp Prism is made before he sees the turret.
That's
he was
very
planning
important.
to put the Warp Prism in the main anyway.
There's a pylon down to the south for him to warp in Dark Templars there as well. But it's going to be the Warp Prism is the pivotal move here.
But he may warp from that pylon. And if he does, then he'll lose a DT if it isn't careful with it, because there's a turret on the natural. But the Warp Prism, of course, still could get inside the main.
Robo Bay is going to be following this up. This actually needs to do a little bit of damage for it to really kind of make its worth potent. Ooh, what
missed the. He sees the Robo Bay, but it's kind of a late Robo Bay, and also misses the fact that the Warp Prism popped out.
All right.
I've played against this a lot. If first does damage and starts to slow you down, like he just goes so far ahead of you. Like dealing with the DTs, scanning, running around, losing army, losing everything. It hurts a lot.
Oh, I think that observer might have just seen that SCV also heading down to the third base, so at least he knows about that. The observer here.
Oh, double forge behind it as well.
And he spotted the missile turret, so he's not going to try and wiggle a DT in at the main. That's at the natural even.
Yeah, he's going to pocket it into the main, but taking his time. Going to wait for his opponent to move out and then do it.
Yeah, he sees the army in the middle.
Nice. If he's going to wait like this, another scan eliminates an observer. Yeah, if he's going to wait like this, that means that he's going to sit nicely on 2 bases for a bit, make sure he doesn't die to a counter. And that's 1 scan gone with no scans available.
He saw it instantly, throws down the missile turret in the mineral line.
Yeah, he needs to get as much done as possible here.
Ooh, well, he was almost going for the add-on there for combat shields, but that would have been a bit of a waste.
Start 1-1 first, otherwise this is like going perfect.
Yeah, and he's shutting down a lot of mining time.
The turret's gone in the main, he's going to get stim. Oh!
Oh, no, that's concussive shells, don't worry.
Did he get stim?
That was concussive shells.
Oh, it must have just finished then, because it wasn't far away. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh,
1 scan
nice
gets
scan.
2.
Very nice scan.
1 scan gets 2.
Yeah.
That's big. And the Warp Prism needs to drop another one in. This should not be over.
And he found the pylon down to the south here, did MMA, so this isn't too terrible for him.
Ooh. DT plops in.
All right, here he comes again.
And he's got no scan. Oh, I see he does. He's got 1 scan.
Stimmed up. He's looking for it once again. Okay. Good control.
And a drop available inside the main here, which is spotted. He does react now, but not as successful as he would have liked. That was actually dealt with quite nicely.
He's got to be careful with that Colossus. Oh, no, okay, a second one's there. He might actually try and snipe the Colossus out, but decides to pick up. Would incur a lot of damage from that.
Not as cool as that could have been. Not as cool as that could have been.
Starts picking up some zealots to go for some harass on the third base towards that because he knows it's there. There's only the missile turret, a few units there to help out. So MMA is technically quite on top of things.
First, he's not really building more probes, and he's sat on double forge, which is really confusing to me because I really would think he would want to grab his third now.
He's moving down there with his army, so... Ooh, MMA. Not sure why he's out all the way there. Okay, so he loses a few units there for nothing.
But
really.
I think he might feel pressure to attack. I hope he doesn't, because I think MMA could defend it.
How much does MMA have? He has... well, I mean, his Bioforce right now isn't huge, but he's rallying out so much, right?
He's going to attack.
All right.
3 Vikings only, though, against 3 Colossus. So I think this... Now I'm looking at the numbers a little bit closer.
He's not producing any more Vikings right now either.
MMA supply cap too. These 5 supply depots finishing up. That's probably why.
This could be a good opportunity for first.
Yeah, it's time to evacuate this third. You're not going to keep this alive.
Yeah, that's too much. Too much. And even catching a Viking is a really good start here for first. Whoa, SCVs charge towards that Colossi, but I'm not sure that's going to work.
Yeah, this is actually a good attack. I wasn't too sold on the idea, but no, this is going to... 3 Colossus unanswered for. MMA scans and sees the third probably missing, right? Oh, he scans the main.
All right, GG.
Yeah. That was a bit of a weird game.
Yeah.
MMA was supply blocked at the wrong time, and it hurt his Viking count, which... Well, whatever. It equals up the series and gets to get a third.
Yeah, third game's always nice here, as we now wait. So, anyway, we'll be getting into this in just a little bit. So I like that first evens things up. You know, these kind of Colossus timings on 2 bases are a bit more common, but the DT addition at the beginning was something that kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I wasn't really expecting something like that.
Yeah, it's a cool strategy if it works, but, I mean, every strategy is cool if it works, right? But this one wasn't as clean cut, unfortunately. But it still worked out for him. I think MMA should have been higher than 3 Vikings by that time, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, so we go to the third map between these two to figure out who gets that golden ticket, that plane ticket to China. And who will be joining us there, the first in-touch master stop in the season. First or MMA?
Yeah.
I really don't mind who goes through, actually.
Likewise, that's what I was about to say. It's like, regardless of who goes through at first in MMA, I'm happy to see whoever.
Well, no, you're Claris.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Overgrowth is going to be our map.
Who's going to play some tricks? Both of these are capable of some strategies to try and win fast. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're jumping into it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Game number 3. Spawning down the bottom left-hand corner, we have first. And to the top right-hand corner, we have MMA. I like these smaller intros. Get it done.
Straight in and out.
Yeah.
Okie doke. So, not as clean of a game as game 1, but still a decent game. And this one could prove to be as awesome as game 1.
I mean, the cool thing about the double elimination bracket here is that regardless of who goes through, the other person still has a great shot in their next series they play because they are so strong and so powerful here. We're waiting still for the lower bracket to conclude, obviously.
Yeah, MC's actually flown ahead with his victory over Happy now, and it's Snoot has to go for Welma, Yoda, then Jack G to beat MC. So it's a tall task ahead for Snoot. Welmu, Yoda, Jack G, MC.
He is the last Zerg remaining in the tournament, right?
He's the last... Well, depending on who wins between him and Welmu, he's the last Zerg, but also the last European.
Ah, yes.
With Happy being eliminated a couple of steps further. Technically, if they lose to Yoda, Happy would be the furthest finishing European. But at the moment, he is the last remaining, which is a little bit different.
Alrighty. Well, that's pretty cool. Snoot and Welmu both can give a lot of Koreans a run for their money. We've seen it time and time again in things like Team League, Snoot doing well elsewhere, of course.
Yeah.
So they've got opportunities to go further. A lot of Terrans to go through. You said Yoda and Jack G, right?
Yes.
And then
Yoda, Jack G, and
maybe MMA later to
MC, and then maybe MMA or first.
Yeah.
So quite a good couple of hours of StarCraft still left for you this evening. So thanks for bearing with us as we try to get you through today's action, as entertaining or non-entertaining as you see fit.
Yeah.
Do bear with us. But all good fun here in this qualifier. All right, so Reaper opening again from MMA into, of course, Command Center immediately afterwards. But double gas from first, but with the double gas last time, he didn't do anything too fast with the gas. He went Robo, then switched over to Twilight. And is that something he does again? Probably not.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it twice.
He's going to throw down his Nexus. Pretty much knows exactly what's going on over the other side of the map, which is always nice to know.
He's not even mining from his second gas until just now, which is a little bit later after the Nexus. So
there's only one guy currently in MMA's gas, so he's just going like full mineral heavy at the moment.
yeah, squeezing that engineering bay probably, and then get back in gas.
Yeah.
Needs to get the orbital in his natural engineering bay, get back in gas. Whereas Thirsty.
Ooh, hello. Third barracks. Wasn't expecting that.
Oh, yeah, that's usually the engineering bay meant to be there, not
Yeah.
the third barracks. And then he gets back into gas. So changing things up a little bit more. So what we could see from him, if he doesn't want to get this engineering bay as early, is with the first tech lab, he could get Marauder and Concussor Shells to push out and be a little bit aggressive and put pressure on first. Who has thrown down the robotics facility, which is actually very easily scouted if the Reaper was to go in.
And first is actually holding this location quite nicely with his initial Stalker on the high ground. There's very limited space that a Reaper can actually jump in on this map.
Yes.
So it can be tough. It can be tough.
All right, so the opening build orders are starting to take shape, unless we see a big switch up again from first here, which seems to be quite common recently. And there it is, a Stargate.
Wow. Okay.
We see Stim or Concussor Shells. Okay, so it is Stim and the Marauder, so it's like in the middle. But he doesn't know about this Oracle, and MMA every time has had a handful of Marines around to be in his mineral lines to stop the Stargate if that was to be the case. But this time he's not really playing the same. He's got 3 barracks, and he's more aggressive with these 3 barracks.
Oh, perfect. Oh, he could have just jumped up to the left, but, well, anyway. Oh!
Hey.
Haha.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Cancelled Stargate.
Yep. Wise little moves coming out first. He likes to keep his opponent a bit tricked.
Likes to keep his opponent guessing.
Yeah.
But we are going to see this little push out, and this is actually a little bit strong. We do have Photon Overcharge, which is nice, but it is all off one gateway in Robo, remember. So after this one Photon Overcharge is done, let's hope that first starts to build some units, because he only has 2 Stalkers.
You know, I get the impression MMA actually saw that Observer flying across his units at the Watchtower, because he moved around with the 3 Marines and the Marauder around a little bit further. And look where he's positioned the other ones. The 3 Marines and Marauder on the left-hand side. I think he's trying to dupe out his opponent, or at least...
Well, first is also going to see missing units too, so...
Yeah, I mean...
in the middle as well, the Stalkers.
He did...
One Stalker dead.
Yeah, that's a good pickup.
So he's going to move out now, and Photon Overcharge will have to be used, but I'm not worried about the first part of this. It's the afterwards. And what happens if he runs past, or...
Yeah, I guess that's what this first sentry's for.
And there's quite a lot of units coming down, and they will have Stim.
Yeah.
First has got to be careful here.
MMA was trying to mask this and did get away with it for a little bit, especially with his movement over his units. Whoop, needs to get that Observer. Does get it at the front. Keeps his opponent in the dark as long as he can shut down these Stalkers.
I mean, there will be another Photon Overcharge, but...
It's a strong army.
It's a very strong army that MMA has out here. I mean, if you look at the army value, 29, 30 army supply to 19. Once the first Colossus is out, he's fine. And he's chrono boosting to his gateways. First realizes he's in a bit of trouble right now.
He's chrono boosting into that Colossus, that's for sure.
He's got Stim, look.
Whoa, doesn't care at all. He's actually just going to go straight for this. And actually gets right on top of this army.
How many probes are he going to get?
5 have gone down so far, 6. But he can't go any further.
Not really sure if that was worth it. I think he wanted more than just a Stalker and a couple of probes. He got the Mothership Core
like
too,
that.
so Mothership Core as well, but not too sure if that was worth it exactly. And he may turn around and Stim if he continues on with those Stalkers.
Takes the third right behind all of this, though, does MMA. First, how are you going to follow this up, though? He's got 3 more gateways finishing up.
He's going to play defensive. I don't think he'll be aggressive in this point because he has no idea what MMA's really up to. He doesn't spot the third. He hasn't spotted if there's a 4th and 5th barrack, so he doesn't know if to be greedy and move out or be aggressive or not. So I would imagine he just kind of sits tight for a bit. Plays on his 5, 6, 7 gateways, 6 and 7's on the way. And MMA will start to climb up with his income now. and finds himself in a decent position, especially if he can put pressure on with drops, which of course First will want to deny with Blink.
And also First hasn't like sank any gas back into Mothership Core anytime soon, so eventually he's going to need that.
Yeah, he will.
It's very useful.
But at the moment, he does have the ability to move out quite strong with 7 gateways of Stalker's worth of units. So keep that in the back of your mind as well. Not necessarily does he have to sit back and be defensive, but he could flick the on switch soon and be aggressive.
There goes the lift off. Looking to do some damage at the back of this mineral line. Cannon's being added though for First, so actually he might have to go all the way around, but it's going to take a while and he might not even get anywhere.
Yeah, Templar Archive suggests that he's not looking to push out with Stalkers, obviously, because that's a big gas sink if he starts getting a Storm or something. But he really doesn't know what MMA's up to. 5 barracks, thirds, nothing. No info.
Nice little catch. Gets a SCV holding the watchtower, but not the biggest of deals as he tries to drop. And unfortunately, one Marine is left to its death.
So if MMA tries any SCV pulls, he's going to find himself hard pressed if this Templar Archives is what I think it's for, which is just obviously going up to Storm now.
Yeah.
While taking a third. So he would be in a lot of trouble if he tried to do that. But at the moment, he is looking like he's about to do that. And the reason why I say that, there is no second engineer bay or armory. He could go with 1-1, and he could be looking to pull his SCVs the way that First has been playing, which has been quite upgrade-focused, which has been double forge in both games prior, more so than switching up. That scan reveals Templar.
Yeah, and then he cancels the second Stargate instantly.
Yeah, he had plans. He had plans for this.
Yeah.
Well, he may still do it. He puts the Ghost Academy in without the second engineering bay and armory and more barracks. He needs to obviously further his upgrades, otherwise he will fall behind against the Protoss. Otherwise, he is going to pull SCVs.
Yep. And if he goes with something like 3 Ghosts, for example, if he actually does want to do that, then it does line up all right sometimes. But again, Storm and Colossi, it's an uphill struggle.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this can work. I mean, it is hard to pull off. But he is pushing himself in that direction.
Vikings on this right-hand side, denying any Warp Prisms that would want to come in. It's very important if you're going to go for an SCV pull to deny Warp Prism harassment, like we saw in WCS Europe, actually, quite a few times.
There's the armory. I was watching carefully to see what he was going to do, so I think he's going to play this out.
Yeah, it looks like it.
He's not going to push. It's so difficult against Storm. It would be... My mind would start to, you know, question my love for MMA if you pull SCVs against Storm. I wouldn't do that sparelessly, so...
His army is looking to pressure, though. Looking to move out to the middle of the map.
He's 6 Vikings versus 2 Colossus, and he's got a decent ghost count, so he can definitely fight. It's just if he pulled SCVs or not. And it looks like if he finds a good position with the Vikings, sure, he can bring down the Colossus quite fast, and he does have a lot of army. Zealot charge and +2 armor about to complete, though. That is useful.
Yes, very useful.
Uh-oh. The third. It could get sniped.
Yeah, it could. He's actually going to go straight for it. But
he thinks the High Templar maybe had Storm, but it didn't.
He's got to be very careful. There's High Templar right there with the army now for Storm. Nice few volleys off on that Colossus.
Yeah, he killed a Colossus.
Yeah, that's all right. At the price of, what, 2 Vikings?
Yeah, and that means that this is a very weak army now if it gets hit by EMPs, which... he may try to swing around and do here.
Moving into this location could be a bit dire. He has to pull back with that Guardian Shield, soaking up some of that damage. He did land an EMP, but didn't... There
is one Storm at the back there.
Yeah, there is. Does catch a little bit of that, but not a whole lot.
There's another Storm coming from the natural, but that's the only one.
MMA's army's very, very powerful if he continues on with these splits. Zealots charge on forward, catch a bit of that bio at the front, but the bio at the back is raining down havoc on this army. Nice Storm will catch a bit of that on the top. But at the same time, can you deal with the stutter step? I don't think so.
SpaghettiOs.
MMA, he's looking to kill the third. He's looking to kill this army. He's looking to kill first. More Zealots warp in. Storm
good drop from that Warp Prism, yeah.
Uh-oh.
MMA's got a lot of units here. I think he's going to break this.
Yeah, 69 army supply against 30. More Zealots try and warp in. The reinforcements still rallied forwards here for MMA. Just kite back against this. He knows his opponent probably doesn't have a huge amount of...
needs to blow on the Nexus.
Oh, yeah. One feather. One feather will kill it.
And he's trading now. He's trading way in his favor.
Send one Marauder forwards. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. As long as he's just trading against the Zealots and killing them off over and over. Good focus fire on the Archons as well, as MMA is absolutely relentless at this position. He has looked phenomenal all tournament
Oh, man,
long.
he's going for the kill. He's going for the kill now.
Yeah.
And after wave, just go on. Sneeze.
It's so close to hitting the Nexus.
He's on it.
He got it.
And drops an Archon. Oh, actually, cool micro here by first. But again, without having any economy left, it's going to be difficult to stabilize.
Yeah, I mean, he's broken the third now. This is the biggest part. And without being able to keep that third alive, first's in trouble. He's back to 2 bases. He's got a couple of units left over, but not a lot. And MMA looks like he's going to take first place in this qualifier after an onslaught of different players. He's played excellent today.
Yes.
He's really, really killed it.
Yeah, he has. He's looked so much better than he did in that WCS group. Powering through. GG. Congratulations to MMA. He is our first player confirmed for the Intel Extreme Masters Shenzhen.
Yeah, he beats Targa, Welmu, Happy, and then first to advance in the #1 slot and takes 1 of 2 available positions to play in the Intel Extreme Masters. He gets his flight paid for, hotel paid for by, of course, the Intel Extreme Masters, and gets himself over to the first tournament of the year in the Intel Extreme Masters. But that just kind of leaves us with finding 1 more player to come along with him.
Yeah, that's true. And we're going to find that out very, very soon. Our lower bracket is unfolding. Do we have any updates there? Or no? Not yet.
Not yet.
All right, okay. So, guys, join us after the break in this lovely commercial section where we, afterwards, will find out who is going to be the second player advancing on to the Intel Extreme Masters.